Hello everyone, so this is a very quick video on how to use my files under POS system and using Power BI through VLab. So I'm going to start by adding some files to the cabinet. So I'm logged into the POS system, and if you go to my files under POS, let's go to cabinet. So in cabinet I'm working with a folder. In my case I have named it Power BI. Right click and let's do upload files. Click on add. So I have 3 files on my desktop or on my home machine. So let's upload these one by one, because you can't upload multiple files. To upload variable devices, let's add word cloud and finally zoom chart. Upload. Your files are uploaded to the home drive or the H drive. So from here I'm going to go to VLab. I'm going to log in with my credentials. So you're going to use your own NSID and password. So once you're connected, on left hand side in the search bar, just type Power. So we're going to get Power BI desktop. Let's launch the application. It's going to take some time before the application is launched, as we are working on the university server in this case. Okay, so again we're going to close. We don't need to create any account with Microsoft. So very first thing you do, we're going to get data. So I'm going to get data from Excel, and in my case my files are stored under home drive. So when you go to VLab, it's always cabinet V or the virtual drive. That's where I have stored my files. So I'm going to open the variable devices. So once it's open, I'm going to select all the Excel sheets. So instead of saying load, let's go directly to transform data. Because this interface is slightly different what we have used in class. In class we went to edit query. So here you're going to go into transfer data. The very first thing we did, we converted the data types. So we are going to change ID to 1 to 3, because this needs to be a whole number. Price to a decimal number. And if I scroll towards right, there's some other fields which needs to be changed, such as country, ID to the whole number, and then yeah, that's all. So we have changed the required data types for our columns based upon the information that was provided in the lecture. So from here we're going to remove the errors. So for instance, row number 34, 35, 36, we have errors here because there was some text value and we cannot convert text into a number. Let's go ahead, select the column, in this case ID. Under home ribbon, I'm going to go to remove rows, and from here I'm going to say remove errors. So row number 34, 35, those rows are removed where we have the error values. And the next thing we're going to do, remove the empty rows as well. So such as null, this is the empty row. So again, go to remove rows, remove blank rows. So seems all set. So those are the things we did in class. We don't want to remove any null values from the price or from any other field, because in this case we're going to lose some of the other essential information. For instance, if I remove row number 6, I'm going to lose this information. So the device which was sold, it was autographer wearable camera, was body location head, and type or the category was entertainment. So don't remove any empty rows if the field is not a primary key. So that's why we use ID fields. So you're going to use same concept which your Power BI in class participation activity. Use the ID field or the primary key field to remove any errors or the empty rows. The next thing we did, left bottom corner, your column profiling is based on top 1000 rows. Left click, we're going to do profiling based on entire data set. So let's apply that. The next thing is, how are you going to look into the profiling? For that we're going to go into view on top ribbon, and from here I'm going to click on column distribution, and column profile. So here's the column profile, so where you will get brief statistics about the column. So first few questions on your in-class activity you can directly answer by looking into column distribution and column profile. So at this point we are done with the data cleansing part. So from here we're going to go back to home and close and apply, because we want to save these changes, right? So for that we need to do close and apply. Okay, so let's add a very first visual. So we're going to add a stat column chart into the workspace. So just in order to work through this example, so I want to display different category products based upon their total price. So category will go into axis, and we're going to have price into values. If I look here, it's taking sum of price, right? So I have categories listed along x-axis, then price along y-axis. And one thing we said, when you want to add a new visual, click into the empty space, then click on the visual you want to add. So we're going to add another visual, which is a pie chart. Let's insert a pie chart, and for our example I want to display the number of products sold by body location. The question is going to be, get me number of products sold by the body location. So I have body location is going to go to legend, and ID, which is very first field, is representing the number of transactions. We'll add that to values, and in this case we said number of, so we're going to use count. So in most cases Power BI will select the most appropriate measure, but you always make sure that you're selecting the right measure, right? Okay, so in this case is count of all the transactions with respect to body location. So we're good with that. So all these plots are linked, right? So if I say how many transactions are made for body location wrist. So for us there are 345 transactions, around 59.59%. So if you expand on this question, how many products were sold in the fitness category and for the body location wrist? So fitness category, I'm going to select fitness category from here, and if I take my cursor here, so the highlighted are 168. So around 29% or 168 products were sold for the fitness category and of type body location. So when you want to go back, just click into the empty space on the chart that you have added. So that will select everything again. So let's work the other way around. So I'm going to select the head category from here. So there were total 95 transactions for products which were for body location head. And if I relate it back to the price chart, so out of these 95 transactions, the total price for all the products which was sold for head body location in the entertainment category is $3,184.16. So your plots are linked. So when you're answering the questions for your in-class activity, you are going to link the plots based upon the question that's been asked. So let's look into the example of map as well. So I'm clicking in empty space, and we're going to add the map. So in this case, country info data, the name field contains the country name. So I'm going to add name to the location. At the moment it's displaying all the country names which are on the map, right? But we want to only get the country names where the sales were made. So I have all the transaction information with respect to ID. So we're going to add ID to the size field. So it's going to resize all the countries based upon number of transactions which are made. So in North America, US, there are 413 transactions. So if I click US, it's going to link it to the other plots where I can look into that. In US there were 236 transactions for the wrist category products, 70 for the products which were for body location head, waste 39, and so on, right? So the next question is how we're going to add the custom visuals. We're going to click on three dots here, and we'll say import from file, import. In my case, my custom visuals are kept in Power BI folder, so I'm going to add a word cloud here. Press OK. So here you can see the custom visual being added. So again, let's click into the empty space and click on custom visual. So we have category, values, and exclude. So we only worked with the category and value, these two fields. So I want to display the product category by number of transactions. So I'm going to add category to the category because these are the text values, and I'm going to add ID to the values field. So the product categories are resized based on the number of transactions. Bigger the text size means there are more transactions. Well, again, you can work in same manner. If I take my cursor, there are 218 products sold for the fitness category product. So let's select fitness. All these charts are linked, so the information will be processed accordingly. Similarly, you're going to add the other chart, which is network chart. So go on three dots again and import from file, import, and here's my zoom chart or the network chart, and the network chart is added here. Okay, let's add a zoom chart here in empty space. Network charts are useful when we want to establish a relationship between various entities using some measure. So in this case, we want to establish a relationship between the category and company name based on their average price. So anything which is working as an entity here, so such as category and company name, will be added to the nodes, and measure is going to act as a relationship between these. So let's add price to the relationship. So I'm here working with the example that you have in the notes. So if I just enlarge it so that we can look into this clearly. So we have company name. So I'm going to pick up, let's say, Polar. So company name is highlighted by the red color. So Polar is selling products into these two categories, so which is fitness, and the other category we have, very small here, is medical, right? The Polar is selling into these two categories, right? And around 22.5k the average value for the fitness category product, and around 2k average price for the medical category product, right? So that's how you're going to read these values. So that's all on the Power BI charts. So I hope now you can complete the in-class participation activity. So I'm going to take you quickly back to the blackboard. So you're going to go to Power BI in-class participation and click on continue. So these are the two files which you require. So download these files on your PC, then use the cabinet to upload these files to the university server, then use VLab to access or to work through these two files, so which is e-commerce clothing review and zoom charts. Make sure you follow these instructions carefully so that you're changing it to the right data types before you start doing the visualization part. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please drop me an email.